Welcome to Cambridge Institute, Naushira. Today I'm going to discuss one of the important topic, especially for class 9th, and that is differences between mitosis and meiosis. In this video, I will discuss the clear differences between mitosis and meiosis with finger tips. So first of all, I am going to discuss that the origin of these words. So the first word is basically called mitosis. So mitosis is taken from the Greek word that is called mitosis. So this is taken from which word? That is called the Greek word. So let's talk about that origin of word mitosis. That is called mitosis. So mitosis is actually the Greek word. That is basically called the Greek word. That is called the Greek word. And what is that Greek word? That is called mitos. That is called mitos. Mitos, which means reft thread. What is the meaning of this? So we can simply call the means reft thread. That is called here ref thread. Thread, ref thread. Now, so if we talk about the origin of the word mitosis, so it is taken from the Greek word mitos, which means ref thread. Now let's talk about that the first person that who coined this word. So his name is Walter Fleming. Scientist name is basically called scientist name is called Walter Fleming. That is called here Walter Fleming. Fleming, he is the scientist who used the word mitosis for the first time in 1882. What was the time? We should remember the time that was about 1882. Now he observed a dividing cells, and during a dividing cells he noticed that nucleus is passing a series of changes, and that changes he called mitosis. So now from the origin we get three words. The first important word is that we should know about the word that when this word was coined. So it was coined in 1882, and next so the scientist name is Walter Fleming, and also this word means ref thread. Now let's talk about the comparison of the origin of word meiosis. So we can also write the meiosis. Meiosis is also taken from the Greek word. It is also taken from the Greek word that is called the Greek word. And what is that Greek word? That is called meiosis. That is called meiosis, and which means that is called here listening. That is called the listening. LESSENING, listening. Now, who discovered or who invented or who coined the word meiosis? So he was basically a German scientist. His name is German scientist. His name is Oscar. That is called Oscar Hartwig. That is called Hartwig, and he coined this word, and that was about 1876. So if we talk about that the difference between mitosis and meiosis, so we get the first difference. And what is the first difference about that the word? So this word means meiosis basically mean listening, and this word mean ref thread, and also the scientist name is basically called Oscar Hartwig, and also here we have Walter Fleming, and the date meiosis was invented in 1876 and mitosis was invented in 1882. So this is actually the first difference. Now let's talk about the second difference. So what is the second difference is? The second difference is that mitosis occur in somatic cells. Now what does somatic cell mean? Somatic cell is also called body cell. So mitosis occur, and what kind of cell? That is called somatic cell. Somatic cell, or we can also call body cell. That is called the body cell. Body cell. So now, what does somatic cell means? Somatic is also called body cells. Those cell except from germ cell is called mitosis cell. Is called somatic or body cell. Now let's talk about that meiosis occur in which kind of cells? That is called germ cell. That is called germ cell, and we can also call germ cell is also called sex cell, which is also called sex cell. That is called sex cells. Now let's talk about that what is basically called germ cells. So as we know that in humans or others we have gonads, and then gonads are further divided into two, which is called testes and ovaries. And what are the germ cells? So as we know that we have two germ cells. The first one is called sperm. The first one is called sperm. And as we know that sperm is produced by testes, and also that another one which is called ova, and that is basically a female body produce ova, which is also called egg, and we also call ovum, etc. And now, so we get the second difference. The second difference is that mitosis occur in somatic cell or body cell, while germ cells, meiosis occur in germ cells, and germ cell is called sex cell, and sex cell are basically sperm and egg. Sperm is produced by male testes, organs, testes, gonads, and egg is produced by ovary. Now let's talk about that the third difference. Now what is the third difference? Now let's talk about the third difference. The third difference is that in mitosis, a parent cell divided into two daughter cells. So if we talk about the third difference, so the third difference is in a mitosis, a parent cell divided into two daughter cells. So we can just write here that two daughter cells are formed. Two daughter cells are formed. That is called here cells are formed. How many cells are formed? So at the result of mitosis, two daughter cells are formed. And if we talk about meiosis, so in meiosis we get that is called four daughter cells. Four daughter cells. Now the third difference is at the result of mitosis we get two daughter cells, and at the result of meiosis we get four daughter cells. Now if we talk about that the fourth difference, so the fourth difference is called that in meiosis and mitosis the daughter cells receive full number of chromosome. Full number simply mean complete set of chromosome. So simply we call here that daughter, that is called here daughter received or receive, that is called receive. Daughters receive full number of chromosome. Full number of chromosome means like exact, we can say that complete number of chromosome. Simply we call here that is called complete number of chromosome. Complete number of chromosome. Number of chromosome. Chromosomes. Now if we talk about here, so in meiosis daughters received half number of chromosomes, and due to half number of chromosomes, which is also called reduction divisions. So here we talk about that is four differences that daughter received, that is called here daughters received, that is called here daughter received half number of chromosome. Half number of chromosome, that is called here chromosomes. Now let's talk about that what is the difference between complete number of chromosome and what is the difference between half number of chromosome. As we know that we can also show that full number of chromosome with the 2n, and also that if we talk about that daughter received half number of chromosome, we can also represent by n. Now how we will know that what does 2n mean, what does n means? Let's take the example of human beings. As we know that human beings has 46 number of chromosome. How many chromosome human have? So that is basically called 46 number of chromosome. 46 number of chromosome. And how many pair do human have? So that is basically called 23 pairs. That is basically called 23 pairs. Now if a human cell divide, so 46 number of chromosome will transfer to daughter cells. For example, we have, here is a parent cells. What we have? If we have parent cells and parent cells divide, so parent cell will also produce two daughter cells. That will also produce two daughter cells. That will produce two daughter cells. If we have 46 number of chromosome, so here we will have 46 number of chromosome. So the first daughter will also receive 46 number of chromosome, and as well as the second daughter will also receive 46 number of chromosome. And if we take other examples, if we talk about like another one like potato, so as we know that potato has 48 number of chromosome. So if potato divides, so how many chromosome potato will receive? Let's talk about that also. Now look at here, if we have potato, so potato has 48 number of chromosome. 48 number of chromosome. When this parent cell divide, so the daughter will receive the same 48 number of chromosome. That is also called the same number of chromosome. So this is also 2n, and this will also called 2n. 2n simply means full number of chromosome. And if we talk about that meiosis, so how? Let me talk about that how meiosis and meiosis cells half number of chromosome is received. So let's talk about that now. In meiosis, half number of chromosomes are received by daughter cells, and due to half number of chromosome, which is also called reduction divisions. Let's talk about that. For example, if you have a parent cell, if you have a parent cells, this is basically called the parent cell. Parent cells. Now in case of mitosis, a parent cell divides, two daughter cells are formed. So now the daughter cell receive full number of chromosome. But if we talk about that here in meiosis, so and as we know that there is two steps of meiosis. One is called meiosis 1 and one is called meiosis 2. If we take the example here, so in a human we have 46 number of chromosome. For example, this is a parent cells. So the first meiosis 1, a parent cell will divide into two daughter cells, and the chromosome number will become half in a daughter cells. Like how? Here we have 46. If we have the first daughter, so 46 will divide into 2, so this will receive 23 number of chromosome. And as well as the same, that is also called, there will be 23 number of chromosome, and this is called meiosis 1. This is called meiosis 1. And due to this, that receiving half number of chromosome, meiosis is called reduction divisions. And if we talk about the further, so then we have meiosis 2, and meiosis 2 is similar like mitosis. Like for example, if this cell divide further it, so it will produce 2, but the same number of chromosome. Here will be also 23 number of chromosome, and here will be also 23 number of chromosome. That will exactly here. And if this cell is divided, so the same, here will be also 23 number of chromosome, and this will also have that 23 number of chromosome here. Look at here. So this one is called basically called meiosis 2, and meiosis 2 is similar like mitosis. And what is the difference here? So we should know about the difference is that mitosis, full number of chromosomes are received by daughter cells, while in meiosis 1, that daughter receive half number of chromosome, and meiosis 2 exactly the same like mitosis. Now let's talk about the difference number 5. The difference number 5 is that in mitosis, the daughters are genetically identical. Genetically identical means they are like a copy. They are like a copy here. Look at here. The difference number 5 is in mitosis, the daughters are genetically identical. What we have here? So the daughters basically, that is called here, the daughters are basically here, that is called genetically what? Genetically identical. Identical means like similar, like a similar. And if we talk about here, so in meiosis, so the daughters are, that is called here, the daughters are genetically different. That is called genetically different. That is called here different here. That is called here different here. So now we get the difference number 5 is that mitosis, the daughters are genetically means just like on the basis of gene. And what is basically genes? So we can define that a short segment of DNA is called gene, and we can also define that the basic unit of heredity is called gene. And what is the function of genes? So genes are responsible to transfer the characters from parent to offspring. So now this was the 5th difference, that the daughters are identical means similar, and while here the daughters are genetically different means like contrast. And if we talk about the next character, so we have basically called that mitosis involves single division. Basically here we have single division, that is called single division. And here we talk about meiosis, so we have double division. That is called here double division. Now what does single division mean and what does double division mean? Single means consist of one. Like for example here, if this one is called parent cell, this one is called a parent cell, like I write that is called parent cells. So this parent cell will replicate, we call that DNA will replicate. That is basically called DNA will replicates. That is called replicates. What does replicate means? Simply replicates means to get copy. DNA will get copy, and this cell will further divided into 2, and this is basically called single division. Look at in case of here, this is called, because one cell is divided into 2, so this one is called single division. And if we talk about double divisions, so let's talk about that also. For example, we have a cell, this is called parent cell. We call here parent cell. That is called parent cell. So the parent cell, the DNA will what? First DNA will replicate, that is called DNA replicates, that is called replicates. DNA will replicates, and then what will happen first meiosis 1, these will divide into 2 daughter cells, that will be called 2 daughter cells. So this is called single division, and now this will also further divide into 2 more. That is here, that is basically called 2 more daughter cells, and this is also divided 2 more. Like for example here, and also that this will have more. So now if you look at here, the next difference is that in meiosis double division occur. Look at the first, parent cell divide into 2 and then into 4 daughter cells. And if we talk about here that mitosis, so in mitosis first only a parent cell divide into 2 daughter cells. So now let's summarize these 6 steps to understand that what is the clear difference between mitosis and meiosis. So now the first difference is that the word mitosis means, it is basically a Greek word, and mitos, which means rough thread. And mitosis was for the first time, or we can say that invented by a scientist, his name is Walter Fleming in 1876. And next point of mitosis is that mitosis occur in somatic cell, which is also called body cells. And the third point of mitosis is that mitosis receive complete number of chromosomes. And the fourth point of mitosis is that mitosis daughter cells are identical, similar like a parent. And the fifth one is that mitosis involves single division, and also that the daughters of mitosis are identical to parent cells. Now if we talk about that meiosis, so how we can remember? So we can simply remember that the word meiosis means like listening, and it was coined by a scientist, his name is Oscar Hartwig in 1876. And now if we talk about, so meiosis occur and what kind of cell? That is called germ cells. And if we talk about at the result of meiosis, so we get 4 daughter cells. And if we talk about the third point, so third point is that in meiosis half number of chromosomes are received by a daughter cells. And if we talk about that fourth number, so fourth one is that daughter cells are genetically different. And if we talk about that the fifth one, so we simply call that it involved double divisions. So now that is the end of this video, and if you have any any question regarding to lecture, so you can write and comment. If you like the video, so then share and like, and also that